It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Jaguars going up against the Saints. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led by a former national champion at Alabama. It's A.J. McCarron.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, right there at home. I guess he's going to try to find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now a play fake. McCarron. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
A.J. McCarron looking to throw. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. So we've got a 2nd and 5. Here's a give to Yeldon. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
And an alley to run. The 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. T.J. Yeldon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. So they get the ball on the opening drive. They take it in for the score.
And how about setting the tone right away? Everyone talks about wanting to do that, but you always hear it in every locker room. First 5 minutes of the game, who's going to set the tone? Who's going to take control? Guess who just did?
Well, now on the next drive, when you score that quickly or you're scored that quickly against, probably feel like you need to respond.
Yeah, without a doubt. In other words, you've actually put the pressure even more so on your opponent.
So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by the #1 overall selection back in 2005 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. And the box that's highlighted is for Hearns on this offense.
Do you have your track shoes available? Because Allen Hearns is a guy that gets you on your horse if you're trying to defend him. He can take anyone deep and win on any route.
And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. And we get a peek at the defensive starters, and it's a unit that really needs to do better than they did last week.
So I would expect them to come out with a lot more emotion this week, flying around, trying to establish a new tone, because last week they didn't feel good about it all.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
McCarron to throw on second down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's going to be shoved down pretty hard. He lost 4 there, and it's third down. So they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
A big gain of 31 on third down. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football, and that's worked for the defense early in this game, and now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back, and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
On second down, here's Fournette. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them. And no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints coming out now to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Room here to run. No, he'll be shoved to the turf that time. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Working from the gun here, McCarron throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. To throw, it's McCarron. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him.
A 1st down carry now for Yeldon. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Again, it's Yeldon. Yeldon fighting. He lost the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a 2nd drive, no 1st down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
Following the fumble recovery, Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here. That looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Off of play action. Here's Smith. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. So we played 1 quarter here on a Monday night. 7-0 is our score. We'll head back to New Orleans after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. But likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Here's Brad Nordman now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Spinning away. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. T.J. Yeldon working his way back out onto the field. He's been pretty effective so far, solid numbers yardage-wise, but the fumble last time, that's what he's thinking about. Has to be a little bit more secure.
Yeah, he does. Would you yell at him right here? Would you get on him?
No, I think you pick him up, don't you?
I agree with you totally. You pick him up in this situation because a lot of game left to be played, and he can be special with the ball in his hands. In that situation, he wasn't, but you talk to him about the 4 points of pressure, high and tight to the body, and let him go back to it.
Well, still plenty of time in this game, so he'll have opportunities to secure that ball with those 4 points of pressure. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Shotgun snap from McCarron. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And 10. Here's A.J. McCarron. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, and he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made. No grounding. Now here's McCarron on third. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down. So on fourth down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It'll be a 51-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And the lead moves to 10-zip. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll run it again with Fournette. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. That one goes for 24 yards.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Now they run with a backup. It's Chris Ivory. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Chris Ivory, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Jaguars are back within a score.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice game there.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Here we go now.
And they'll go play action with McCarron. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Calais Campbell in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
McCarron following the sack. He leads his guys up on 3rd and long. McCarron down to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Again, it's Fournette. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. The Jaguars on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing on third down, Smith. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. First down, McCarron. They find some open field here. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery. But on 4th down, a change of possession anyway.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well. We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Here we go.
McCarron on first down. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard at the 23. Now Allen Robinson and company gearing up to go again on offense. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
There's something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why. And he's taken down here by the Saints. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Jaguars on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. From the gun, here's Smith. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
Wrap up.
Still moving. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Here we go.
first down. Caught by Snead over the middle. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Now McCarron throwing on second. And some room to work. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Here we go. 3-19.
McCarron, a final shot before the half. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
Okay, Brandon, thanks, and welcome everyone to our EA Sports halftime report. Let's get to the highlights. The Saints are up right now and are looking to keep up the pressure moving forward. The Jaguars won't panic either. They know they just need to take it one play at a time. All right, let's roll the highlights. Third down from inside the 50. Hillman is able to get clear of the defense, and this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown. The Saints up by a touchdown. First and 10. McCarron's going to look for space. He'll end up running for over 20 yards on the play. Later on the drive, a fumble would get the defense off the field. Now first and 10. Ivory's going to get loose thanks to great blocking. And he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. Jaguars now down by just 3. First and 10. Thomas is the target here. And this play will go for 6. That takes the lead up to 10. So that's it for us. We'll go back now under the lights for the second half of this Monday night matchup.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. To throw on second down is Smith. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That goes for a gain of 31. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Smith on 3rd down. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They begin with a run by Yeldon. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall near the 25. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll run it again with Yeldon. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overrun him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Now McCarron. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Out of the pistol, it's Yeldon. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Green, 39.
On 2nd down, Kamara. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Hurry up, here we go.
McCarron from the gun on 3rd. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. He's going to field this at the 4. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Stephon Anthony coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted. In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Smith. Hard throw, incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
And Frank's kick is good. And that will tie things at 17 all. So a good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, Brandon.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you can see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
T.J. Yeldon's not afraid to drop a shoulder or run through some tackles, is he?
Not at all. I learned it in his high school days in Alabama, then, of course, stayed in state to play at Alabama. He could do that there.
And what I think is best about him, and when he's really on top of his game, when he's a little bit lighter, a little bit quicker. I think he's strong enough. He's compact enough to break those tackles. I think he's at his best at a shiftier weight.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12.
Here we go.
Now McCarron. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Marquette King now. He's been terrific so far. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. And now out come the Jags. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now Leonard Fournette. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. On 1st down, this is Ivory. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
On 2nd down, Ivory. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3. Handoff to Fournette. And he's got room. Fournette fighting for a big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Jaguars have moved out in front. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Franks to add the PAT. And they will take a 7-point lead now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And a long run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Throwing on first. Here's McCarron. And this one complete to Marcus Wheaton. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
From the gun, it's McCarron. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Blair Brown able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now it's McCarron off play action. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Here we go.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he is knocked down from the side. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And yes, what a play. How can I not get excited about that? How about the agility shown on the play and the suddenness with which he brought him down?
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Ah, yes, that's today's NFL defensive tackle. Not just a space eater anymore. A guy with agility, movement skills, who can rush the passer and make plays in the offensive backfield.
And Lutz's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I guess they're thinking their hands were tied, but in the 4th quarter, that field goal, it really might not help them much at all.
Yeah, I mean, you still need a touchdown. Another field goal does you no good, so it'll be interesting to see what the media reaction is if the score stays where it is.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And I think he was able to get back on it. He was. So they will get the ball after all, but that could have been a disaster.
I didn't do this in college, but I did it in high school. When you return kicks and you lose it yourself, the panic that goes through you and the determination to get the ball back, I don't even know how to describe it. And I think we just saw an example there.
Yeah, and the relief when you get it back like he did.
Yeah, you go to the sidelines, you know you're going to get yelled at, but you can handle it because you got the ball back.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. They give it to Ivory. And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Fresh set of downs here. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Fournette running right. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Here's a give to Fournette. And he'll take this one down to the 36. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. A handoff, Fournette running left. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All I know, partners, that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy. We can really put ourselves in a great spot to take total control, and yet they find a way to cough it up.
And a loose football. Now it falls on McCarron to get his guys to the line quickly. Back to throw. And look out, a big hit to the shoulder pads took him right off his feet. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it. But they've got to continue to move quickly.
And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard near the 42. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. To throw. He's going to let it fly. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. A big gain of 31 on third down.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
He'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. Fighting through.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. They go down to a knee and a sigh of relief as they are into the win column for the first time this year. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Jacksonville, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From New Orleans, good night, everybody.